I knew that the transition coming back to America was going to be hard, but I didn't know it was going to be this hard. Hi YouTubers, it's Natalie here once again, and I am back with a new video. You know, it's been about a year now since I've been back in the States, and I thought, you know, I need to give y'all a life update. So that's what this video is about. This year has been a struggle. So yeah, if you guys are interested to learn a little bit more about what this past year has been like, then stay tuned. If you are new to my channel, first of all, welcome. Please make sure you go ahead and click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos, and also hit that notification bell so you don't miss those videos once they do post. So let me first start off with why I came back home in the first place. So first of all, I knew that after signing my last contract in February of 2019, I knew I was going to be staying in Korea after that contract. I just know for myself and for where I saw myself in terms of my career, in terms of, like, you know, me building a family and all of that stuff, Korea was not the place that would enable me to do that. So I knew I was coming back home. So a lot of people speculate that COVID had something to do with it. It had nothing to do with COVID. I just happened to come home right around the same time that COVID decided to, like, drop the F-bomb in the States. And that's a completely different story. But if you guys want to know a little bit more in depth of why I came home, I'll link my video because I think I made one somewhere here. I did have plans. I had general plans of what I wanted to do coming back home. I know that I wanted to, you know, establish myself financially, meaning I wanted to get a job. I did not have any job prospects or anything lined up before coming home, so that was kind of just up in the air. I know I wanted to be paying off my student loans, or at least within the next 3 to 5 years have that all paid off. I know I wanted to be saving towards my own condo or my own house. These are all goals that I had, and also finishing my grad degree. So there was nothing was set before I left Korea, but these are just some ideas that I knew I wanted to. And let me stop and, like, first talk about, like, that transition or just that uncomfortability going from living abroad and having your life already established, especially if you've lived there for long term like I have. I lived in Korea for 5 years. When you have your life established, meaning, like, you have your job, you have security in terms of financial security, in terms of healthcare, everything, you have friends, you have, you know, you just have a community, and it's a great community, and it makes your home away from home feel like a home. I was leaving that independence and that freeness and coming home to uncertainty in a way, and that in its own self was very scary. I would say, like, people would ask me, like, how are you excited to go back home? I'm like, it's like a mix of feelings, like, I don't know, because I really didn't know what I had nothing to go off of. I had no process. I could not see the future. Like, when I would envision 2020, it was just black. And that is what was so crazy about it. Now, I will say that some great things did happen in 2020. I, you know, came home and I was able to live with my mom for a few months. I was able to see my family once again and be able to visit them often. I haven't seen them for such a long time. That was great. I moved to Maryland, or the DMV. I'm, like, right outside of DC area. So I have, like, a new, like, environment to kind of, like, start to thrive in, which is really exciting. I got my master's in management. So, like, business management, girl. So this was something I've been working on since I was in Korea, and I finally finished it. So 2020 wasn't all bad, but let me go into why 2020 was a really, really tough year, not just because of COVID, which had a huge effect, but that plus trying to transition back into a life that you thought you were prepared for, and then it was turned inside out. I will be completely honest when I say that 2020 was an extreme emotional roller coaster for me, and I hit some really low lows coming back from Korea. I was not happy. I was not happy for, I would say, starting at about the 4 to 5 month mark. That's when it really started hitting me. And I don't know if anybody else can corroborate this, that has had to transition back home, but it's like you're trying to reinsert yourself into a life that you had beforehand, but everyone is grown up, everyone has continued living their life and has their own stuff going on. You kind of lost this connection with the life that you've had, with the people that you've known. My life literally revolves around Korea. I can't really say anything these days without somewhat mentioning Korea because it was such a huge part of my life. I would say outsiders would not be able to understand what I'm saying or what any of the experiences that I'm talking about, or, think that I'm talking about Korea too much. But Korea was literally like a fifth of my life. So I found that, one, just trying to reconnect with not just people but just your community was difficult coming back home. Moving on to where I saw myself going, which is trying to get a job and establishing myself, that has really not happened at all. COVID truly did shut everything down. To be in an area of just limbo is very uncomfortable, especially if you're used to just always pedaling along and having this routine and going. You literally were forced to stop and do nothing. And even though it could be good to have that kind of time for yourself and to take back, for me and what I wanted to do or what I foresaw, it did not help me. It did not help me in my perception of myself and my successes, or what I thought was, success or failure at that time. I really found myself thinking down on myself, why aren't you good enough? Why isn't this happening for you? Just even trying to find a job. I've been going through a countless number of recruitment cycles for potential jobs. You submit your resume, you do internships, you do performance assessments, you go to panel interviews for a number of jobs. And in a way, I guess I found my worth in my success, or in my career, part of my worth. And to not be able to acquire anything, or to be told, or not even told, why you're not moving forward, just knowing rejection after rejection after rejection after rejection after working so hard continuously, it's exhausting. It's really exhausting, and that really did contribute to some of the lows that I faced. And 2020 has been literally I wouldn't even go up and down. It would be it was tough. I knew that the transition coming back to America was going to be hard, but I didn't know it was going to be this hard. To be honest, I was nervous about coming back. I know of so many people who come back, they try, their lives in their home country, and then they return back back to living abroad because it was just better. I don't want to sound like I'm just complaining and I'm ungrateful for what I have and that I'm fortunate to be in a position. Like, I know how fortunate I am to have the support of my friends and my families. I know how fortunate I am to have a roof over my head and to be able to move to another state mid-pandemic. I'm fortunate to still be able to, you know, travel sometimes. Like, I'm fortunate to not have dependents under me, you know, where I have to support financially. I know I'm in such a privileged position, and I acknowledge that. And so sometimes I for myself, I get in this rut of like, why aren't you thankful enough? Like, why are you so hung up on like what you haven't been able to attain and all this rejection when look around you have all this stuff? I don't know why I get like that. And it's just something that I'm also still learning about myself. And I'm still trying to work through it and push myself through it. But I know I'm not alone. I know that there's been so many other people that have reached out to me when I made a post on Instagram that can really connect and understand, like, girl, I'm going through this too. And so that's really why I wanted to make this video. Just so you know that 2020, my life coming back from Korea was not all peaches and cream. It was tough, and it still is tough. But I'm hoping that this next year is going to be better and brighter. I do have some things in, you know, the positive queue. I got an internship, which is great. A paid internship, which is like, God, thank God for that, because I'm tired of not having an income. And I have consistently been having to hear the words and understand, like, what is for me is for me, what's not for me is not for me. I'm meant to be some places and I'm not meant to be other places. So when I do get rejected, it's a learning opportunity. Even though that initial hurt, man, like, I be in my feelings for the whole day. And again, just to have a support system that, you know, knows your worth, you know, I am very lucky. I do miss my life in Korea. I look back on my stories, my, you know, archive stories on Instagram. I look back at the pictures and I have such positive and beautiful memories of my life there. And I do miss my life. But would I ever go back to Korea? I probably would go back to visit, but I don't think I'll move back there. I think I've done Korea. I've accomplished Korea. But yeah, it's just time for new adventures, and, you know, going through this tough time is part of that adventure. I don't know where I'm gonna end up in the end, but hopefully it's gonna be some place bright and happy. And I'm happy to bring you guys along for it. So thank you guys so much for your support. Like, I know a lot of you guys have reached out to me on YouTube, on Instagram, which I'm really active on. And I'm so thankful for each and every single one of you that has really, you know, felt and connected with me and have been there supportive for me. Thank you so much. I see you and I see your messages. I try to like them. I try to respond, and I see that you guys see me and I see you, okay? But anyways, thank you guys for staying this long if you're still here at this rambling mess. But yeah, hopefully I'll have some new videos coming out for you guys soon. So stay tuned, and I will see you guys next video. Okay, bye.